Okay, so as I said I would do during my unboxing video, um, I did a test fit, put everything, not everything, but I kind of test fit everything together, very loosely, just to make sure I wasn't going to run into any issues, and I wanted to share some of my thoughts. First off, everything went together pretty simply. The wiring harness is all kind of plug and play, so there's no issues with, well, there shouldn't be any issues with soldering. The only thing that I need to do is resolder the ground wire to the switch. It came loose either in shipping or wasn't ever actually attached, but that's a pretty simple fix. The other issue was with, well, there's a couple issues with the neck. The neck is straight. Most of these frets are pretty, everything's pretty flat and level. There are a couple high spots which I need to address, but nothing that's going to cause me problems, I don't think. The biggest issue with the neck that I see is, it's not really a huge issue, but first impressions, that nut is the action at the nut is way high. The nut itself, I mean, it's barely got these slots are barely even in there. The string's just really riding on top of the nut with very little indentation. So after looking at this nut, the string spacing is not exactly even across here. The high E string notch is too close to the edge of the fretboard, so this nut's getting knocked out, and I'll be putting in another nut that is pretty much a direct replacement for this. Size-wise, I'll have to end up filing it down to get to the appropriate level here. I don't know if you can see this as well. That nut seems to be sitting on top of a little bit of the fretboard. Like they left a little bit of a shelf for this nut to sit on. Depending on what it looks like when I knock this thing off, I might just take that down to the maple. So I'm still debating whether I should do that or not. The other item, I don't know if this is standard or not, if this is how these guitars generally are, but the fretboard itself sticks out past the end of the neck, and there's a gap there. I've tried to research it online, and it looks like that's fairly standard. I just don't like the look of it. It's driving me crazy. Maybe it's not going to be such a big issue when I get everything painted, but I'm tempted to try and fill that gap a little bit. Obviously I haven't adjusted the height of the pickups or anything like that. I only have one string on here to hold the tailpiece in and see what kind of what the action would look like down here. Obviously I can raise the bridge and the tailpiece a little bit to get this action up, because we do have some buzzing, but this is one string and this is just way too high up here, so there's some issues there. Everything else seems to be okay. It's got these die-cast tuners. They're nothing special. I have tried the truss rod, tested it. That seems to be doing its job, turns smoothly, and I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to continue to work on this as I have time. One other thing, the electronics in here, they're pretty basic. These pots are pretty darn tiny inside. They're about the size of a dime. They're very small. So, depending on how things turn out, I may end up swapping out basically all of the electronics in this thing. I'll probably be swapping these pickups out and then getting replacement pots and caps for the electronics, depending on how this turns out. I don't want to invest a ton of money into this guitar. Really, it's just my attempt at putting together, a playable guitar that I can do with my son and have a good time doing it. Learn a little bit about the guitar itself and the process for putting everything together. So that's where we're at, and I will let you guys. I'll catch you guys up later on when we've made a little bit more progress. Thanks.